Hi, you guys. I thought I'd come and try to talk to you on a subject that's kind of touchy, but I named the video We're Really Screwed Up, and I think I know why. And I know for some people it can be a touchy subject, but I think that it has to be addressed. And what it is I'm talking about Christianity, religion, whatever you choose to call it. But the reason why our country's so messed up right now, and the reason why it's going where it's going, is because we as a people have allowed new cultures to come into this country and to basically I'm going to say methodically work at killing our beliefs. Now, a lot of people, I know there's a lot of people out here that in America that claim to be atheists and so forth, but what can't be argued is that we were founded as a nation under God, and that's the Judeo-Christian God. It's in all of our, it's in everything that we have. It's even in our Constitution, and our founding fathers used a lot of different ways to express that particular thing. So we were founded as a Christian nation. We believe not everybody, but almost. I'll go back then. I'm going to say that pretty much everybody believed in God and Jesus. And where things started going haywire and some of these are not just other beliefs, but there's people out there that don't want to destroy the country, and so they utilize these other, I'll say, religions and things. They utilize those to water down and basically ultimately destroy our moral system. Okay, and the problem is that we've allowed it, and because of that, we're now sitting here. I'm not saying everybody, but as a nation, we're screwed up. We don't know who we are right now, and there's a lot of different people that are, throwing stuff into the mix, and pretty soon it all it's all warped. It's all screwed up. But we have to get back to that, and the reason why we're at now is because everybody, a lot of people have abandoned it, and sometimes it's a hard thing to discuss because people get upset about different things. But I want to explain it. That first of all, when we were founded as a Christian nation, and that's not debatable. But the biggest thing about it is where it started getting warped was people started coming in, and a lot of them were socialists and communists, people who had no beliefs in God or Jesus or any of that. Didn't want them, mainly because it didn't go along with what they wanted to do to people, and in terms of enslaving them, killing them, starving them to death, abusing them. So that just doesn't go into the system. Um, but where it went wrong was the idea of separation of church and state. A lot of people have a really misconception about that. It had nothing to do with if I believe in God, okay, in Jesus Christ. That is not my religion, okay. When I do go to church, I go to church on Saturday. My religion at this basis, if I don't go to church a lot, but if I did, it's the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Okay, that's my religion. But as far as God and Jesus, I don't care who you are. If you're Presbyterian, Methodist, Mormon, Jehovah's Witness, Methodist, you get what I'm saying. We all believe in God and Jesus. All of us do. That's not our religion. Your religion is whether you're a Mormon or you're Baptist. And what the forefathers wanted to do when they came over here, they left England for two reasons. One was taxation, and the other one was religious freedom. So when they came over here and they made the new laws for the new country and everything, they wanted to make sure that there was a separation between church and state. Church and state meaning, and going back to England and going back hundreds of years before that, the Roman Empire and everything, the Church of Rome basically ruled the world. Yeah, they had kings and queens and different rulers and stuff, but who actually ran the governments behind those was a long time ago was the Church of Rome. And if you go back into history, you find out that even kings and queens were beheaded, and they were done by the church. And so moving forward, coming to England and everything, it's the same church. Later on, several hundred years later, became known as the Catholic Church. But in England, it's called the Church of England. It's still the same church. But anyway, what they were trying to avoid was they didn't want that to be done like that anymore. They didn't want one church to run the country at all. They wanted that separation. And that had nothing to do with believing in God or Jesus or any of that. It had strictly to do with if you're a Methodist, they didn't want Methodists running the country. They didn't want Seventh-day Adventists running the country. They didn't want Mormons running the country. It has nothing to do with God and Jesus, because all of us believe in that. But anyway, so that's where this thing really started going haywire and got screwed up, because now what's happened is these people that want to destroy this country are doing their best to eliminate our Christian values that almost all of us believe in. And so my examples that I'm trying to give you here as to why that's happening is we're the greatest nation on the earth. And the reason why is because of the belief systems that we set up and that we chose to follow. You go out anywhere else in the world, and it always comes back to, I don't like to call it religion, but I don't know how else to say it, but our moral values, what they're based on and everything. Two prime examples. The United States was a Christian nation, and they set their values up on Christian values, which primarily most of us know as the Ten Commandments, and loving your neighbor, and loving God, and loving Jesus, and loving people, taking care of them. Nothing that, even if you're an atheist, you could be against. In fact, to the point where now I personally I don't believe in homosexuality. Okay. Having said that, for anybody there that's getting ready to jump on me, I have 2 kids that are gay. You know, and they know how I feel about it and everything. And my attitude, personal attitude, is that's between them and God. And I'm not going to judge them one way or the other. I love them. They're my kids. I had one die of AIDS. So I do know the situation, okay? But in our system, I don't necessarily agree with that we should allow gay marriages and all of that stuff, but in our system, our Christian values, that we take care of each other and that we have tolerance for one another and everything. Having having tolerance for others and everything does not mean that we give up our moral values of this country. It doesn't mean we change any of that. In fact, we're not supposed to do that. And that's another misconception that people have. As I mentioned before, this country is the only country in the world that the majority of countries in the world, in fact, I've read things just in the last 2 weeks of countries that have killed homosexuals. I've read where they've killed people who didn't believe in, I don't know what God they worship or whatever, but didn't believe in God. You know, they've killed them. This country doesn't do this because our basis of Christianity is based on, for those of you that know, most of you I think do know, but are based on what Jesus Christ taught when he was on earth. And basically when you get into those teachings and everything, you find out that Jesus, more than anything, came down to tear down the rules and regulations that different groups of people were trying to lay on everybody. And for those of you that are atheists, I know a lot of you, it's based on how some group of people treated you or whatever. But you have to break those things down to what they are, and what they are is that's they have a right to believe whatever they want to believe and say it or whatever, you know, and you can believe whatever you believe, and that's just the story. That's the way it is. But that's different, and like I said, that's tolerance. But tolerance has nothing to do with changing the laws or any of that. Our laws have gotten us 200 years of the best place to live on the planet. And now people come along, including Obama, say, oh, we need change, we need this, we need that. Why? There's some things that need to change in this country. I'm not going to argue that with anybody, you know, but not like this. This isn't change. This is dismantling America. I'm going to have to go. So I didn't want to, but I'm going to make another video. Please watch both parts. I think it's important. I'll talk to you in just a few minutes. Bye.